Hi people, beautiful people. I'm back with another tutorial, and actually this is day 3 of me trying to finish this wreath and record this video and get it out here. And what happened, I'm gonna try to do a quick recap because I lost a lot of footage at the beginning of this. Was supposed to have been a very detailed step-by-step video of from beginning to end. I mean, from me getting my silhouette drawn and cut out, how I mix my paint to do my painting and all of that. And what had happened was I ran out of space. I'm doing this on my camera, on my phone, and I ran out of memory. And so the thing cut off. And you'll see that later on a section of this video. And so I had to go back and clean up some stuff and delete some stuff. And so in the process of me doing that, I deleted all of the first part of this video. So I'm gonna do a quick recap on what I lost, and hopefully it'll be enough to catch you guys up on where I am at this point, because actually I'm almost finished with the wreath at this point, but I want to go back and show you a few steps. So here we go. Okay, so I got this idea to do a Caucasian lady silhouette because one of my customers, some of their friends who are white, they saw the Afro Diva wreath, and so they said, well, can't she do one for us? And so she asked me, and I told her, I said, girl, yeah, I can do whatever. And not knowing that I couldn't, but you know, you have to push yourself. You have to know your limit, and you have to be able to go beyond your limit if you feel like you're capable. And I felt like I was, so here we go. We're going to do this thing together. I winged this thing. This is the first time ever trying this. And so I've thought about it for probably been sitting on it for a week or so now, just trying to figure out how am I going to do it. So this particular lady that wants this wreath, she's have like a long dirty blonde hair. So I said, well, I'm gonna do it similar to what I think, you know, she may want. So here we go. So what I had was, I've been having this wreath, and it is a candy cane wreath, and I've been having this for probably 2 months or so now, and I couldn't find it. It was actually all just blue and white, and this is Dollar Tree mesh. So I ran out of it. I thought I had enough, so I needed about maybe 2 more rows to finish these last 2 parts on here, and I couldn't find no more blue mesh. I got white, but I couldn't find this blue, and I went to several different Dollar Trees to find it. And in this 6-inch roll, I could have got something else, but it wouldn't have matched like I wanted it to. So it's been sitting here. So I said, well, how am I going to make long hair on a Diva? So I got my silhouette, and let me show you what I did. And so I stuck it, well, I got it on here now, but I got my silhouette, and this is the one I'm going to use. I've painted it and everything, and I'm going to get that in a minute, but I got it, and I kind of stuck it behind here to kind of see how it would look, and it looked good. So I said, well, that's what I'm going to do. And so this one I'm going to turn into another African Diva with long hair, and I just added, I'm going to go through it, and actually now I'm going to just do it tan and white. The whole thing, I'm going to take all the blue out and just do this in tan and white and put a pretty face on it and make her have long hair. And so, but for this Caucasian one, on the videos that I lost, I showed you guys how I use the paint. Let me see, to mix up. So what I have this is a tan acrylic paint. Actually, my ex-daughter-in-law got, I don't know where she bought it, but she bought it and she gave it to me. She had used it for a project and didn't need it. This is just some white chalk deco art paint of the kind that normally you get. This is white, but you don't normally use this by itself. It says on here to mix with other paint, and so it kind of give it just a base, you know, to mix other paint with. And this is just a brown paint that my daughter-in-law gave me also. And I had some pink that I had for another project that I did a 50th birthday party for this lady, and had to make some stuff because I do interior decorating, I do event planning, I do parties, weddings, and funerals, and so and I make wall art for the homes, and so handmade everything. And I'm looking for this other paint, and so I also had a little bottle of this. This is just a light beige paint that I had bought. So I was wanting to get kind of a olive color for the face for my Caucasian woman, and so in doing that, I just trial and error, and what I ended up doing was just mixing I think I mixed these two together and added just a tab of pink. And so the first try I got, and I have a little piece of board here that I was using prior. My trash can is right next to me now. So this is a piece of board, and you can see I have like different colors that I was trying. So you can't see it, but it's one color here, one color there, and it's a lighter color like in between here. And this is the color that I end up trying to go with to try to get my skin tone the way that I want it. So in doing this, and I'm almost finished with this here, but like I said, I had did a very detailed one because I've watched my other videos, and I saw the comments. A lot of you guys have asked questions on how I did my face. Later on in this video, because like I said, I'm just having to record this first part over. So later on, I'll kind of show you a little more detail on as far as the size and everything. But as far as how I put this together, this is actually a foam board and a piece of just regular cardboard. And I cut my shape out because I'm making two of them. I had a 4-piece foam board. This is some black foam board. I've got trash, not trash, but something behind it. Y'all seen it on the other video. I didn't want that on here. So anyway, I put 2 of these on the foam board and cut them out. Did the same on a piece of cardboard, cut them out, and I glued them together. And on the edges, as you can see the back of here, I went with some masking tape and taped off the edges to give it a clean finish. Then I went and put 2 coats of Mod Podge glue on here. Let's see if I have some over here. I don't know where that one is. Oh, it's behind me. So, the Mod Podge, I use this is the glossy finish. The one with the yellow is the matte finish. You can use either one, but I just poured it on here and got a sponge paintbrush and painted all across there, let it dry. Put a little bit more on there, did the same process, painted it on there. All of them, get the edges too. Always get your edges. Even with the tape on it, still you get your edges, because what they do is give it more of a solid bend, where it won't bend when you stick it in your wreath, because this is going to be hanging outside. And so that's basically what I did with that. And so it's on the paint, like I said, if you can, I don't know if you can see it, but in this little corner right here, this is the color that this face was at first, and it was just too dark. So I had to add a little bit more white to my paint, and and get this color that I want right here. And this is more like a olive color with a little pink color in it, make it not be so pale looking, it's got a little color in it. I don't know how good this is going to show on the film, but I'm just got my camera where I can see the video as well. I'm right-handed, y'all, but I've noticed that the video is flipping when I put it on when I put everything together. So that's this part on here, and I do all of my silhouettes like this. I cannot draw, y'all, so I use the same one, but because it took me honestly about 2 hours to get this little thing drawn, because I didn't want to use the ones that are online, because I've noticed so many people now, and everybody does such beautiful work, y'all, but there's so many of these things going around, and I just wanted something different kudos to whoever was the original creator of the Diva Wreath with the headscarf and the balls and stuff. And I just wanted something different, and that's why I did mine's a little bit different. And it's going pretty well. I've had several orders for them. I've had to make several, and I thank God for it. I'm grateful to God for all the gifts and talents that He gave me. Unfortunately, drawing wasn't one of them. He missed me with that one. So, but anyway, that's how I do my head. And like I said, later on in the video, it'll give a little bit more detail. So that's just a quick recap of this part and some of the footage that I lost. So this is the frame that I'm gonna use on this wreath. And excuse me, actually, I'm gonna paint it. I kind of did change the nose a little bit. I gave it more of a point, which I'm gonna have to adjust this little tip because it's just very pointed. And I don't know how I'm gonna draw the face on here, but I think later on in the video it's a little bit more detail on different ways that you can do the head and everything. So, all right, so I'm gonna get this cleaned up, and I'll be back in just a second here to show you how far I am on this wreath. Okay, all right. Okay, guys, I'm back. I tried to adjust this camera a little bit, but where I am is in a tight corner of the living room, so I just have I don't have this on the space I had to put up my table. So anyway, we're gonna get to the mesh cutting part, and I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna do the hair on my wreath. And so, as I told you earlier, I got this up here now just to hold this board up so you can see all my stuff behind it. Maybe you can get a clearer view of what I'm doing. But as I told you at the beginning, I'm using my leftover mesh that I have, and because I didn't want to go buy some more, and I already have some that I can use. But this is the 21-inch mesh that I'm using for this project. I would suggest that you use the 10-inch if you got it, or go buy it. Don't buy the 21-inch. Get the 10-inch mesh. It's like a 10 by 30 or 10 by 9 feet or whatever. 10 inches wide, 9 feet long. That's basically how it comes. If it's 10 inches long and it's say 30 yards, it's the same as the 9 feet or whatever. So, and you're gonna get the 10-inch mesh and just cut it in the 10 by 10 squares. I had said earlier maybe 6 inches, but 10 inches look better. And so for this here, I tried a couple of them off camera just to see what would work first. And so the 10 by 10 is going to work for what we're doing here. So back to the mesh cutting. I also showed you how I cut the mesh, this 21-inch. I cut it by 10 inches long first. I rolled the mesh out and just cut it on my 10. I just don't have to be 1 from 10. If you don't have a cutting mat, I don't think I said this earlier, but if you don't have a cutting mat, buy a poster board. A poster board is 28 inches long. You can use that to measure by if you want to. That's another way, because if you don't do this all the time, I would suggest you just go out and buy a lot of extra supplies. Also, I'm going to get to this in just a second, but when you paint your face, another little tip that will help you, if you don't have acrylic paint, use some nail polish. Fingernail polish is, it's a little bit more, might take a little longer, but to paint your eyes, or if you putting lashes on your face or your lips or whatever you paint, fingernail polish, y'all, it's the same as regular paint. That's what it is, because if you spray paint glass or something, you can take spray paint off of glass with acetone. Acetone is the same thing you're using to take fingernail polish off with. That's just another little tip that I have learned over the years, because like I said, I've been doing this for a long time. I've been making wreaths. I mostly do floral. I'm sorry, I'm just thought I'd just throw this in here before I get to this here, because it can help somebody. And if you don't want to hear this part, you know, you can fast forward through the video or whatever. But just some tidbits to help if you're starting off on crafting, or if you already crafting. Because I had a person in my comments, and I'm doing this because I've had some questions on the other videos, and I'm just trying to answer those. That's why I'm a little more detailed in this video as far as how I do my head, my silhouette, and all of that. I'll come back and when the paint is dry now, and I'll show you how I'm going to decorate it. On my African American wreath, my black girl, I'm going to have to coat her a couple of more times to get her like I want her. But or if you don't have no paint, I went and bought these here for another project. This is just a tan colored 12 by 12 sheet of paper. It's sort of like chip paper, but it's like a cardboard. It's a cardstock paper. You can see how it is. But I just bought this, and if you want to, let me see, trace your silhouette on the piece of paper, after you cut it out on the foam board, and you want to just trace it out on like one of these here. You can see this is almost a 12-inch high head that I'm using. A lot of people have asked me, but this is a 12 by 12 piece of paper, so you can kind of see how big my silhouette is. It hangs off the end of this just maybe like probably maybe an inch or so, half an inch, and that's just on that one corner right there. But this is how big my head is. If you want to know how long this silhouette is, it's like a little bit longer than 12 inches at the longest point. And it's probably, if I take this corner to the edge of this paper, it'll probably be, you can see how wide it is on this paper. And this is a 12 by 12 inch, so you can kind of see how big my silhouette face is. And you can flip it either way. It'll go either way on whatever you're doing it on. And so this is a textured paper. It has little grooves in it. But like I said, you can also cut it out on here if you can't paint, or if you don't want to paint. Go find you a piece of paper that's the color of skin that you want. Trace it out. Put some Mod Podge on here and stick that bad baby to there, and you got your face. You don't have to worry about going through all these extra steps that I did with the paint and all that stuff. You can find you a blush color pink paper if you're going to do a Caucasian one. Go find you a piece of paper that's close, you know, like I say, close to the skin tone that you desire. Not what I'm doing, but what you desire. And just do it like that. That's just an easier way to do this here. Because I'm doing a lot of steps, but this is just how I do it, because I enjoy doing this, and it fills my day. And so, and like I said, I've been doing it for 20 years, but, and then, like I say, some fingernail polish, same thing. With the paint, if you have, like my nails, I have like it's just a beige, earth tone. I like earth tone colors. I don't like real bold colors. But like that, if you have this, want this color, it's almost the color of this paper, believe it or not. You can't see it too well from on the camera maybe, but get you some fingernail polish. For a head this side, it may take a couple of bottles. Still get your brush. Just open up that fingernail polish, dump it all on there, and spread that bad baby on here. Get you a paintbrush. It don't have to be a foam brush. It could be the bristle brush, whatever works for you. And even on that, if you don't want to, I Mod Podge my head first. You don't have to do that. I do that just in case I change my mind, and if I want to spray paint it. Because if I spray paint this board without putting any kind of protection on it, that spray paint is going to eat through this paper and that foam. I think I showed you how it does on my other head on another video. But that's why I put that coating on there, because I go so many different ways. I change my mind while I'm doing this project or whatever. But anyway, that's just another couple of tips, you know, to help you as far as the painting. After I get this here thing painted, I might go in and trace my lips how I want them. But like I say, fingernail polish, y'all, just use it and work it. I mean, the brush is smaller. You can keep your lines. If you can paint your nails, you can paint some lips and eyes on this thing. And like that is another good tip to use for those that want to paint or can't find the right color. But it may, if you know a nail polish, you know, like I said, make buy a little bottle of nail polish for 99 cents somewhere, you know, and get you a couple of bottles and put it on there. Or just go buy the acrylic paint or glitter. If you want to use glitter, you don't have to paint this. Find your glitter that you want, Mod Podge it real good, pour that glitter on there, tap it to get the extra off. When it dries, put another coat of Mod Podge on top of there to seal your glitter in so it won't fall off. That's for any project. And so that's just a couple of tips. Now let me get to what we're doing with this mesh, okay? So I cut this in 10 by 10 squares. And so what I'm doing, I told you only on this one. I don't do this on all my mesh. But I said you can cut it over, fold it over in half. And then you can fold it over again on itself to match the ends. I kind of eyeball it, take my rotary cutter here or some scissors and just cut it in half. Now when you do it like this, your edges in this mesh, this is that jute, and anytime you cut it like this, it's leaving sort of some like jagged edges when I cut it like that because I folded it in half. But it's okay for this project because we're using this as hair. Hair is not perfect. It's not a smooth finish on it. And so when you put it up and those edges are a little ruffled on the edge, it's okay. It makes it look more like hair. So what I did for this one, I told you I'm going to do that Afro Diva one off camera. I'm just going to focus on this Caucasian one right now. Okay, so what I end up doing, I started this off and I got my hair laying down like this here. I'm going to show you how I did this right quick, and I'm going to finish it off camera and go from there. So what I did initially was did the butterfly. I did it like this to tie it on my wreath one, but I didn't like that. And so how I had did this, I had just took it, my mesh the same way that I did earlier, and I took it opposite corners. See, it's like this here. That's the 10 by 10. So it don't matter which two corners, but just do the opposite corners of your mesh. And I poured it like that. And you can either, this camera's not working for me. Let me try to get over where you can see it better. Okay, so on here, you pull it. I hope you can see this, the opposite corners. You can bring your edges to meet in the middle like that, and you can fold them over into each other to form a little spear like thing, or however you can do it, or else just bring them opposite corners like I showed you, gather it in the middle and just pull it and turn it over on itself. You're gonna like turn it over on itself, and I got my camera facing me, so I'm trying to see what you guys see. And just do it like that. And so initially I did two of them like that. And it's a coffee pot. And crisscrossed them with the Chanel stem, which I don't know, here's one. And put it around there like that, and I was going to do it, you know, like this one is. And what I had initially did, move some of this out of the way. I hope my camera don't fall because I'm moving it around. What I had initially did was folded that up, and I was gonna I'm just gonna use a random spot, and I was tying it on. I was gonna just tie, you see this is still 4 bars on here. I just took one of the crossbars in the middle right here, and I was gonna just tie it on to, I say the center 2 bars right here is what I had planned to do, and just go straight up the middle with it like this here, and then just go back and fill it in. But when I did it like this here and just tied it on the 2 bars here in the middle. I didn't like the way that this is look like it's about to fly away on me. And my hair was still sticking up too high for what I wanted to do, you know. So I changed my mind, and instead of doing it this way, I did it like this. And if you can see it, just laying down better. And when it gets done, I'm gonna layer it all the way up. I'm gonna just do the bottom part, and I'm gonna show you just a second. But I'm gonna put, when I get to the top part up here, I'm gonna stick my frame in at the top rim. Somebody's calling me. But I'm gonna stick my okay, my phone is ringing right now and I can't see what I'm doing, so I'm gonna give it a second to get done because I'm filming this on my phone. Give it a second to get away from this. Let me decline that phone call. Okay, but anyway, as you can see, I hope you can see, I'll bring it up closer. I'm putting my, probably can't see it because of the way this camera is and the way that I'm sitting down. Let me try to get over here, but I'm gonna put it up close to the edge of this rim up here and stick it like in up under the first 2 bars. Below that, this is that crossbar like at the top of oh come on, I know who you are, lady. I gotta make a wreath for somebody and a grave. I do funeral sprays and graveyard cemetery sprays and all of that stuff. That's what I specialize in, is doing weddings and funerals, the coffin spray, standing spray. So this lady keep calling. I know you guys can't see it, but the phone keeps coming up and it's blocking what I'm trying to show you guys. And that's what I gotta make her spray for a grave site. I gotta make like 3 different ones, 2 for the cones and 1 to go on top. But anyway, this crossbar here is in the top center. I don't know if you can see it, the top center of the candy cane. And this is where I'm gonna stick my head right up under, yeah, in the bar right below, in that, between that 3rd and 4th one, okay, right below there. I'm gonna change this camera when I really get ready to put my other one on there. But I'm gonna put this in and I'm gonna work around my head when I add all this other mesh. That way I can know how it's falling and know if it's right. But anyway, I know this video is long and I'm so sorry. But the way to do this here, let me try to show you this so I can get past this part and I'll come back and show you how I'm gonna do the top. Because right now we're gonna wing that baby together because I have no idea at this moment how I'm gonna do the hair in that hook, in the hook part up there. But so what I did with this, I took the opposite corners, made my spears. Let's see if I got one already done. I do. And so on here, after you make your spear, I'm folding it over like that to making it to like bird wings. I say eagle wings or whatever. But I want these 2 ends to face each other. So what I'm doing to make them face each other is I'm twisting. I'm going to twist the back and make it to where they are both face the same way. Now if you twist these up and when you bend it over and try to twist it behind itself, if that makes sense, to kind of make it like where all of these ends are facing the same way. And then I'm gonna gather it like maybe like 1 inch or so right here, and I'm gonna zip tie it. I have different lengths of zip ties, but this is a cable tie, a zip tie, or whatever. It closes on, you have 2 ends of it. The flat side is under the bottom part here, and so the way you put this on, so I'm gonna put this on. I hope if this fall, y'all, I'm sorry, the board, I'm trying to keep it from being a mess. But I've already got a few on here. So what I'm gonna do is, before you fold this and do that, like I just showed you, get your cable tie. And I'm coming up like, each one of these are called like little sections between these bars. And so I'm gonna put one strand of hair is what I'm calling it, on each of these. I think my phone is about to go out. But each of, okay y'all, my phone went out, so I'm back now. I had to edit some stuff and do whatever I need to do. So anyway, so in the meantime and in between time, this is what I've done. So as I was saying, you take this, and I've watched that last little clip, and so I see that it did turn out okay. But as I said, you take this, and after you put them together, you twist it, and you want to twist it to where it comes back into itself. If it's already folded into itself, then that's okay. I think my camera might be tilted a little bit. I'm sorry. Okay, so then you take it in half, you fold it, and you're gonna get it about maybe like an inch or so. Let me see. Yeah, that's about, go down like about an inch. And on my wreath frame, I've already put some of the little zip ties on here, and I'm gonna show you how I do this. So hopefully you can see this. So what you want to do, you take your zip tie and you put it on. I got one on each one of these rings, on each one of the bars. So take it and put it on there just a part of the way, and then we're gonna take, I hope you guys can see it because I'm having a little difficulty, but we're gonna take this in, keep your finger where it needs to be, and put it in about halfway. On this one, we're gonna do in the middle part of that little section. And so I'm putting it about halfway, and it's kind of difficult because standing it up it is. Laying down is more easier. But I'm gonna kind of tie that in. Hopefully you can see it. The zip tie. And then as you get it closer to the bar, make sure it's like in the middle. I'm gonna turn it to the back way where you can see like it's in the middle of this one and that one. We're gonna do one on the crossbars here, in the center there, then on the other crossbar, and then in the center and on the crossbar, and that's how we're gonna go all the way up. Okay, so I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna lay it back down so I can tighten this up. And we're gonna tighten this up as tight as we can get it, so this thing won't move. And so once you get it tight, you see you can turn it a little bit, but it won't move. And then it's gonna start like laying down, and as it come out, it's gonna layer itself on top by us putting it in on the crossbar, in the center of these bars, back on here, just every like one between each space. It's gonna start layering. And that's that one. So I do another one. This was already folded in the middle. I'm gonna take it, fold it over. Just so happen this one is already folded within, no it's not. So I'm gonna take it and fold it over to, well, fold it over to where it, let's see which way, whichever way is easiest. I think it's easy to take the back part and turn it clockwise. And if the ends are not even, that's okay, because like I said, remember this is hair. And so we're gonna do that and squeeze it in the middle, about an inch. Already hook your, don't put too many of these on here at one time, so it won't confuse you. Take this here, get in the middle part of that, tighten it down. You might, have to use some fingers and be creative with this. And tighten it down on there. Real tight. And that's your second one. And pull it down even. Again, this is already folded over because I had them in the twist tie. Fold it back, bend it in. Just make sure, however you bend it up at the top, you get these to where they all facing The feather part is facing the back. Squeeze it up here about 1 inch. Get your ready zip tie. It's already on there. Stick this between there. And you probably have to like kind of hold it down with one finger. Pull it up with the other. Maneuver it however you can. I'm just using the finger that I can. You can get it down a little bit closer. If you need to close it up a little bit more than what that big loop I had, you can. But just get it to where you have enough space to stick your mesh through, whether it's just jute or if it's something else. Okay, and so that's those on here. And the last one, just to show you how to put this on there. Remember I told you my allergies, it's getting late, because it was like, I think it's probably about 10 o'clock p.m. now here. Okay, so there's the flat end is here. If you try to put that in on that end, it's not going to lock. You got to put it in through the flat side where it'll lock. And so I'm just going to stick whichever direction you want to put it in. Just put it around the bar. Bring it back. Stick it through the flat end. And push it down just a little. You hear it clicking, the lock a little bit. That's a smaller loop. You can leave it like at least where you can get 2 fingers in it. You don't have to have a big loop. These are, I have 2 different lengths of zip ties here, as you can see. That's 2 different lengths because it's just a package that I've had a lot of them in, and I just pulled it out my little where I keep them at, and I mixed them in. But this is a 8-inch and this is a 6-inch. I wouldn't go no lower than a 6-inch. If you bought these from Dollar Tree, they do break easy. I would probably get mine from Walmart or something. Okay, and put them on there. Another way on how to do this here, opposite ends. Get it in the center. Fold it back into itself. Over and over. Squeeze it in the middle. It looks like a little eagle wings bird flying. You know, those that fly south for the winter. Turn it down. Hold this down. You bend it over. And you see it's going in opposite directions. So we're going to take that and just twist it and bring this back over to the front side of there. Just hold it between your fingers. Now these are going the same way. And they uneven because it's hair. After you get that there, squeeze it down to about 1 inch or so. Hold it between your fingers. Get your wreath form. This is a wreath form as well. Put your mesh through your loop about where you got your fingers at, and kind of take a finger or something and push it down until it starts to get tight. As it gets tight, because if you don't tighten it up, it's going to flip-flop all around. You don't want that. And so you get that where you want it, and you tighten it up as tight as you can. See, these in the middle, they move just a little bit, but as you lay them on there, they're not going anywhere. And on here, because it's not real tight, so you can move it up and down and do everything. It's okay if it move a little bit. You just don't want it to where it's going to be twisting all around the back and stuff like that after you get everything done. I put backings on everything that alma wreaths I do, like this one here. I don't know if you can see it. That baby done flipped around to the back side as if that's where it belongs, and it don't. So what I'm going to do is just take it and flip it back like it go. And if you need to redo the zip tie, because that's the way it should be, like on here, where you can see the bar going like down the center of them. Same thing with this one, probably because I've messed with it for so much. But, you know, just fix them. And as you go, you can adjust it. I am going to get my other mesh. I haven't cut it up yet. So to make the dirty blind more with the second color, I'm going to probably go in and just, if I don't put some between the bottom parts of here, this is my main color that I'm going to do because it looks like a dirty blonde, but I'm going to insert some of the other ones, maybe between these here going up and down. And so, but that's the basics of how you put these on here. Now, like I said, when I get to this part up here, I don't know what I'm going to do. So, we're going to do that together. But what I'm going to do now is go ahead and get some more of these on and finish this part up. And when I get to this top part, I think my faces are dry, so I come back and we'll decorate that together. And I'll show you how I insert it in here and zip tie it. And when I insert it and zip tie it, then we'll finish this hair part. Okay, so I'll be back when I get all of this done and get that face prepared. So, all right. Okay, this is the end of it, guys. I've finished her. I hope you can see her. I'm going to put her on the wall in a little bit so you can get a good look at her. I'm going to hang her up and put it at the very end of this video, take a picture and insert it. But I wanted to show y'all what I did, the back of it, how I finished this off. Actually, the same way I showed you how I was going to attach them, I attached them like that all the way up. And I come around here. I couldn't figure how I wanted to do this, so I just winged it and to see how it would look in the front. And so it turned out, I'm trying to see this as I'm showing it to you. And so it turned out okay, and I just stuck a poinsettia flower here that I bought from Dollar Tree or somewhere. These are some berries that I had bought, a stem of berries that I had got from Dollar Tree, and I just didn't want to put too much on her. And so this is the mesh that I had left over. I just had maybe, this was on a 21-inch roll, and I had maybe not even a third of a roll left. And so I just cut a few pieces off, and I only have like maybe 6 pieces total going through here just to give it a little highlights in here. This is just a tan color mesh. It's like a jute mesh, and I sprayed it to lay it down and give it more of a hair look. I just kind of ruffled the edges, and I just used my adhesive spray to keep it a shape. So what you do if you want to spray it, because you can kind of see it's kind of flat and laying down. And like this piece here, if I want to lay it down, you kind of flatten it and shape it how you want to. And then you spray it, because once you spray it, it seals all the ends, and it's like spray starch. If you don't have no adhesive, you can use like the spray starch that you would starch clothes with. You can use the spray starch, you can use hairspray or the adhesive spray, but you have to be careful when you're using like spray starch or hairspray, because some of that stuff will turn your mesh. It will leave a film on it that you can see, like a white film, and it depends on the chemicals that's in the starch or the hairspray that you use can turn the mesh. But what I do, if I spray it, I make sure I'm like at least like 8 inches or so from my design and everything, and I just spray it like from this distance. I don't be like close up on it like that. I have to stand away from it and just let it mist over it. You turn it around and give all, because you see this kind of hanging at the bottom, so I'm gonna go back and shape that up and just get it how I want it and turn it around and spray this back part. But I'm gonna hang this on the wall, and the last thing I'm gonna do to this is cover. I'm gonna get some felt and cover this whole frame, because I don't want to give this to my customer and all of this is showing like this, because these are hanging out and they can scratch up a wall if you put it on a door like this here. And so I'm gonna get something and cover the back of this here. You can use felt or foam, like the school foam that I showed you earlier, or if you want to get just something smooth, even a piece of like poster board, and just cut it out in the shape that it is. And you can, if you use like a pipe cleaner, just make sure you turn the edges, because this is wire. If you use a pipe cleaner to attach your foam or your felt or whatever width to the back of this frame to cover it up, because you don't want to really use no glue around it. But if you use some, however you attach it, just make sure those little pointed edges are turned in. If you use a zip tie, just turn that little rough part inward so the smooth side will show. So that's basically it, and I'll show you how it looks hanging up on the wall so you can get an idea about how long it is. Well, you see how long this candy cane is. It's just a regular Dollar Tree candy cane, and this is hanging maybe 4 or 5 inches away from the bottom of the candy cane. So it's not really a big, it's about the normal size of a wreath. It's not as wide, but it's gonna look good on the wall. And this is my, I don't know what I'm gonna call it yet. I guess I'll put it in the description. But she's my Caucasian dirty blonde. That may be what I say, I don't know yet. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe to my channel. I'll be posting other videos. Try to do them at least maybe twice a month, if not more than that. It just depends on what I'm doing. I have a couple of more projects that I'm working on now. I plan to do an African American man. I already have a silhouette cut out for him. I just have to figure out how I want to do some things on it. And I have another good project that I think you guys will like. This is like 3 days or 4 days later after I started this thing, because I've had so many other things to do. So I get carried away with something else. I'll work on this for a little bit, show a little part. Then I might make a whole nother wreath between time and everything. But anyway, I thank you guys for watching. And I hope you all have a blessed night. And if you don't like it, just let me know what it is you don't like about it so I can try to fix it on the next one. But thank you. Appreciate you for clicking on that little icon to see what this is. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you. Bye. Okay, this is her hanging on the door. And as you can see, she's really cute. And I'm going to back up a little bit so you can see how she is on the full-size door. And this is a nice size door. And that is how high she hangs on the door. As you can see, that's the full-size door. And that's about how big this particular wreath is on the door hanging. And I think she turned out really, really cute. So tell me guys what you think. Please like and subscribe and click on the notification bell so you can know when I post another video. Alright, have a good night or day. God bless.